Oh, no.
Nothing new, right?
Technology.
Right? At least we can laugh about it, right? Okay, well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you who is joining us live or oh, meeting code, yes. Angels. Michelle's trying to get on. Today is the 27th of June, and we just got back from Scentsy family reunion for 2022. And I wanted to do just like a recap from some people that went with us. We have a couple people on, thank goodness. And we want to share our ahas, our what we learned, where, maybe some inspiration of why it's important to attend SFR and start planning now. We know we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the home of NASCAR, which Cindy is so excited about. Yay! So it's going to be super fun. Cindy always finds somewhere that has a cultural, just something that you would learn that you probably wouldn't unless you're really into NASCAR, like Cindy knows, but I'm not. So I get to go and see what all the hype's about. And I would never probably go unless Scentsy sent me there. So it's so cool that you get to travel, you get to write it off as a business expense. I've been to over, I think 20, and that's not just for reunion, but for other things, because of Scentsy, 20 different states that I never would have been to if it wasn't for Scentsy. And so if you've ever dreamt of just traveling and seeing the United States or the world, we also got told that our incentive is, they did this back in 2013, I think, maybe 14. I think it was 13, that we get to choose where we're going to go. If they had different, so one is Quebec, Canada, one is I believe a Caribbean cruise, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New York, which is awesome. And then was there a fourth one?
Yeah,
Quebec, Canada,
or Mexico.
Cabos, New York.
Cabo. I kept forgetting that one. Okay. So the way it works, just to kind of recap, is that the highest earners, meaning the highest points that they earn, do get to choose first where they want to go. But to be honest with you, when I was like talking to Mitch about it, I'm like, that all these locations, I'd be happy to go, even if I was the low man on the totem pole. And I want to remind everybody that, which a lot of consultants don't realize, that anybody can become the top earner. I will tell you, the higher title you go, the harder it is to get points by like promotion, because like I can't promote anymore. So there's no big bonus points that I get to earn. So I have to earn it through sponsoring and helping people. I don't know what the structure is, but that's generally what the structure is sales, helping people promote, sponsoring new people, and just working your business, and you will be surprised that if you are just focusing on growing your business and sharing your business, how many points you can truly earn. And they announced that we can earn points for attending our world tour in February, which is so amazing, because if you are literally in this to be all in and grow your business and be a great consultant to your clients to keep them involved with what's going on, and grow it into a actual business and like sponsor new people, going to Scentsy events are the most important thing to do, because it's a way to one, help you be inspired, because you can't inspire people when you're not inspired. That's just a proven fact. You also can't motivate anybody at all, but you can inspire them to help them find their motivation. And a lot of these events help people do that. We had a consultant say that somebody was watching her Snapchat pictures just coming back and forth, throughout the week. And because of just the pictures that she was sharing, her friend wanted to join Scentsy. So these events are so important to help you. It's a tool to help you inspire other people to become consultants or even host parties or to buy products from you. Or it's a great way to help you get that extra motivation and courage to do things that maybe you wouldn't have done if you weren't in that positive environment. I'll actually have Cindy share herself what happened, because she was sitting in a workout, a breakout or whatever, and that inspired her to contact somebody. So Cindy, can you actually just really fast unmute and share that with us?
So it was the breakout on follow up and follow through. And, you know, every time you hear someone talking about following up and following through, you know, and I've been with Scentsy now 7 years, so I've heard basically the same discussion. However, it only takes that one person just to like spark something in your head. So what I did was I send a text to an individual that I've been talking to since March. I met at an event, said she was interested in joining. And I said, hey, I just wanted to remind you or let you know that June, we have a special. Here's our special. And, you know, I know we met in March and we were talking about, you know, you becoming a business partner, you know, and then I said, you know, I forgot what I said, but anyways, she answered me back, which number one floored me. Because when I tried to get a hold of her in March, it was just a lot of just like hit and miss, and then we never got connected. So I did go ahead, you know, and she said, "Oh yeah, I would love to be a part of your team." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I told her, I gave her a time that I was going to call her back, and we were talking, you know, to talk and everything. She says, "Okay, sounds good." And the great thing is that she did answer my call. When I called her back, I thought, okay, she's going to make an appointment for me to call her. She's not going to answer me, but she answered the call. So I do have a conversation with her later on this evening. So
yay!
Yeah.
So exciting. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, we like Cindy, I'm so glad you shared how long you've been in the business, because it really does make a difference that we can never stop training ourselves, because we may have all the knowledge, but doesn't mean we're necessarily utilizing it every day or every month or every year or whatever. And we need that little extra reminder. And I love how you put it, Cindy, that it takes just sometimes the right person to deliver the same message, but in a different way. And you might have been in a different place when you heard the first message and it just didn't spark anything, but you were maybe ready to hear it, as you know, and when she delivered it in that certain way, or he, I don't know who it was, but it resonated with you, and it boosted you to do it. And I have to say, I heard a lot this year at Reunion, people saying, I heard the same thing over and over again. And the thing is, we have to understand we're going to go in it hearing a lot of the same things. We can't go thinking we're just going to get this mind-blowing, I've never heard this in my life before. You may, but it's more likely not. It's you have to be open to receiving and ready to apply what you may already know, but you may have not been applying it as much as you need to, because consistency is really the key. And we all know it. I know it. When I'm not consistent, my business struggles. It's funny. One of my team members leaned over to me and she goes, "Jess, do you ever have struggles? Do you ever have downs and, you know, ups and downs?" And I'm like, "Of course I do." And she's like, "Even in Scentsy?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I do." And, you know, just because I, you know, promoted to the top of the level and I've been in it for 11 years, it doesn't mean that I still don't need reminders and boosts, and I don't have downs of, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I don't question my ability all the time, especially as a leader, to be honest with you guys, of, am I doing enough? Am I, you know, do I have what it takes? All those things. We're all human. It's just, we're in different places in our lives. And I also wanted to share that part of going to Scentsy events is part of what we need to do for our teams. And I shared this with our, like we did like a pizza party, kind of collaborating, just kind of what our ahas were. And I said that, you know, part of going, if we're growing a team and we have a team, is sometimes people can't go. And it's important, hi, Anna, it's important for, if you are a leader, to take that step so you can inspire and receive things that maybe they can't. And Michelle, would you mind sharing, Michelle has a team member that usually comes to Reunion that wasn't able to come this year, but seeing Michelle's journey at reunion sparked something for her. And so I don't want to take it away. I want you to kind of share. I want you to be able to share that with us.
Yeah, I think these events, I mean, as we get a lot of FOMO. And I know that life happens, and that was a situation, right? But I want to say too, we all go through our peaks and valleys and the highs and the lows. And there's something that we heard at reunion was don't quit when, when things are tough or when it's, so what this does is it rejuvenates. And for my team member, which she'll watch this and she'll know who she is. I know that she's been going through the highs and the lows, and even with our team meeting was like, I didn't realize how much I needed this right after the team, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to stay in or not. And she always, she's come to two reunions, and those are the two that she was able to come to after she joined. So this year she wasn't able to come. And so her takeaway, 'cause she's like, you're going to share with me, right, as things are coming out. And so because she asked, I was texting her all the pictures, and I even sent her a video where I got the Scentsy spirit yell. And I mean, it was kind of a joke, but she said, I didn't realize how much I missed that, that, because we kind of laugh and we're like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. But then we love it, right? Because like everywhere you go, it's, when you say, when I say Scentsy, you say spirit, and it's 10,000 people that are yelling this. So even those little things of that energy that, she's like, I didn't realize how much I missed that. Next, I'm never missing one again, and next year is going to be her 5-year walk. She's like, I'm definitely not missing it. And it's in one of her favorite places. And so I'm so excited, right? Because it's like, this isn't happening again. When we're not there, to miss, like for me, it's a non-negotiable, never missing one, never, because I know what it does for me. I know the feel that it feeds in me, always something different. And it is always, there's always something, that we're going to learn. But yeah, seeing it from somebody else's eyes, you don't even know what it's like in person, like somebody else telling you the story isn't the same as you going through that story yourself and living through that and feeling that energy. It's one thing for us to watch a football game, or I mean, if you're into sports or not, or whatever that is for you. It's one thing to watch, the Raiders on TV. It's another thing to be at the beautiful Raider Stadium and to feel that energy, right? But here it's all your Scentsy sisters and misters that, love you because that's what we have in common. And then we start to really feed off of each other's positive energy. And it's not something that you want to miss. It's just like, I'm not missing this again, so, and I did meet up with another Scentsy sister today. And she was really sad, that she couldn't make it. And I said, you know what, just start planning now. And she's not my downline, she's a sideline. So it was nice to, give her a big hug and say, you know what, next year, it's the time has passed, that's over, but start planning now. You have over a year to plan, get on that payment method. And that's how I do it. I know how much of my commission I need to save on my card so that it pays for where I'm staying. I know to have a payment plan. I know to make that plan because it's important, so that's kind of what I'm telling people that are saying, I'm not going to make anybody feel bad for not going. Plan for next year, and you have something to look forward to for next year, and I'm sorry you weren't there this year. I know it's FOMO, it's big time FOMO. We'll see you next year, so.
What a great example, the like totally different watching a football, the Super Bowl at home opposed to being there. That's a great example. It's just, you can't explain it. It's almost like You literally just have to be there to understand. It really does. So if you can, I'm just going to actually ask, since Cindy and Michelle were there, I'm going to ask if you guys wouldn't mind sharing some of your biggest takeaways, other than the follow-up thing that Cindy just shared. Is there any certain experiences? It doesn't even have to be a workshop you went to, maybe just something you heard at general session, or a conversation you had with a fellow team member or Scentsy sister in the Scentsy community that really resonated with you and maybe kind of, helped you on a personal level or a business level. Is there anything that you'd like to share that really, impacted you, Cindy?
So for me, it was Amy Purdy. For those of you that weren't able to go, she was one of our keynote speakers. Beautiful young lady. When she was younger, she had gotten in, had an illness, and had to have, long story short, had to have her legs amputated from the knee down, or right below the knee, I believe it was. But to see her go through her process and where she is at now, and all that she accomplished along the way, I'm sitting there thinking, I have nothing to complain about ever.
Felt that way, I think.
This was the first reunion that I went to. I've gone to 2 live and then the virtual ones, but normally I have some kind of ankle issue going on, and this one, thank you, dear Jesus, I didn't have any issues. But I guess maybe from the walking a lot, my ankle was a little, and the humidity in Utah was pretty high. My ankle was a little sore, and I had been complaining about it. And we listened to her, and I was like, you know what? My sore little ankle is nothing, and I have nothing to complain about. She is a remarkable woman, and she just finds a way and keeps digging at it and never gives up. And, it's just amazing. That's one big thing I took away.
Wow, what a great perspective. That is so true, right? We start to think it could be so much worse, all the things that we struggle with, not to take away from our own trials, because they are big and they could be, and it doesn't make it less. It's just, it really does help us see wow, if this person can do this, I can get through. And I may not know the answer of how yet, but it shows it's possible. And I just need to really get my thinking cap on. I think she impacted everybody the most. Everybody I've talked to, they're like, oh my gosh, Amy Purdy was just, because she was just so genuine and just sweet and kind. And one thing that I loved is that she said challenges are opportunities.
Yeah.
And I'll share really fast something with all of you. Many of you that I talk to a lot know this, but a lot of you don't. And so I lost my sense of smell 100%, literally can't smell anything, over 18 months ago when I had COVID. And obviously with a fragrance business, it's a little, it's a little harder because I can't tell people how things smell, but it took literally until the last few months for it to really get to me emotionally. I didn't realize that a lot of my spark and my passion of this business had a lot to do with the excitement of smelling things, the emotion that it created, the memories it created, and the feeling of just making people feel good. The thought, I would project that over to wow, this makes me happy. I love that my business makes other people happy. And it was hard for me to connect those. It is hard for me to connect those dots now because I don't have that same emotion. Well, listening to Amy, I realized, well, one, lack of smell is a lot different than not being able to just, have legs and not be able to jump out of bed every day and do what I want to do. So one, it could be a lot worse, but it also told me when she said, challenges opportunity, it made me really start to think you know what, I need to look at this as an opportunity somehow, some way. I don't know quite how it's going to be. It did make me think a little bit of, I might be the answer to a lot of people that are going through this as well. Because hello, the whole world went through this, not just me. It's not like a personal thing that I'm dealing with. The whole world went through COVID, and some people, and the majority lost their smell at least for a little time, but there's actually a lot of people out there that still don't have their, and I'm a part of a lot of groups. And I realized that I need to just make this an opportunity. Yes, I don't know how it's going to benefit my life, but it might benefit somebody else. And so that's where I'm at. And that's what sparked me, is that it could be worse. And then two, I'm going to not look at it as a poor me. My life is over. My business is over. Because when you think about it, it's been 18 months and my business hasn't been affected. Oh man, I'm frozen. Darn it.
We can hear you.
Oh, you can't. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Because I'm
You're
like,
back. You're back.
okay,
You're not.
I'm back. Okay, awesome. Oh yeah, appreciate the challenge. Cindy added to, it reminded me. Yes, so true. Like I have to look at it as like as when you look for gratitude, it's easier to handle anything when you see, what am I grateful for? Like, one, I have a business. It made me think about that. I have a business for 11 years. So it's not like people think I'm a fraud. It's not like I've been lying to them for 11 years. I really did love and could smell the products. So they know I believe in my products. It's just the challenge I'm going through right now. And so, yeah, when you look at appreciation, you really start to see the things that you may not have seen if you didn't look at it that way. So that's just one of the things that really stood out. You guys, I've been really struggling emotionally because of this. I've been really I've literally had thoughts of, is this mean that I'm supposed to move on? This isn't like my thing anymore. Not that I'd ever quit Scentsy, but I'm like, am I not supposed to continue to build this? Because, the enemy was really getting to me, you guys. And this lady's story really, really hit me. And one more before I open it up to move on. John Ondrasik, he's the singer of Superman. He was one of our keynote speakers as well. And he talked about how, one, it took like 45, I didn't take any notes. I videotaped it. I'm going to go back, but I think it was like 45 songs until he made a hit. And then it's not, even though he made this hit, it took him years to write his next song. And so he had downs. He was, he had very low points in his life, in his career. And he thought about, hanging up the keyboard and, the writing thing. But he, if he would have done that, he wouldn't have found so many other wins and ups in his life. And it made me go, wait a minute, Jess, you can't just, throw in the towel because you're having a challenge right now. And I need to also know that I could be an example that a lot of people say, like, oh, I can't do fragrance, so I can't be a consultant. Hello, I don't have any sense of smell. I've always used Becca Levi as an example because she is very sensitive to smell. She can only, literally, there's like not even a handful of scents that she can handle of Scentsy, even though we have over 100. But she's one of the highest paid Scentsy consultants in the company, like most successful. So I used her as an example. And then I'm like, wait a minute, if I can use her as an example, then I could use me as an example, that you don't have to be able to smell it as long as your clients can smell it. That's the most important thing, right? And then somebody, was probably one of the gals that were on here, that's on here right now, reminded me that our descriptions are so precise that I can literally read a description to people and I can say with true testimony and confidence, I'm not just blowing smoke, I'm not being a salesperson, I'm really can say a true testimony that if it smells like if it says it's going to smell a certain way, Scentsy always hits it out of the park. It really smells that way. So I don't have to smell it myself to be confident to say, this is what it says it's going to smell like. So it's going to smell like that. So that's a benefit. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. That was a big aha for me. I had to go to reunion to get that. If I didn't go, and I considered not going because I was sick for 2 weeks before, and I was going through this really low period in my life thinking, is this the end of my, actual career? And one of the things she said is obstacles can only stop you or force you to be creative. I loved that. And that's what really made me go, okay, I need to get creative. I may not be the most creative person in the world, but I can, if I want this to work, I'm going to have to find a way, right? When there's a will, there's a way. Let's see. And she came out asking, if your life was a book and you were the author, what would you want your story to be? And then she also said, what don't you want your story to be? And that made me really ask, do I want to give up on this life? No, I don't want my story to be, oh, I once was a Scentsy consultant, or I once was a leader in Scentsy, or I once had all this freedom, and owned my own time, but now I'm working for somebody else. I don't want that story. So she forced me to ask myself what I don't want. And it made me realize there is no way that I can make this not work. I have to think out of the box and get creative. And this is just going to be a whole other chapter of my life. So she said, true resilience is bouncing forward, not learning to bounce back. So true resilience is bouncing forward. And I wrote down my no smell. And that's what I go, wow. So that was my one of my big ahas. I have Aubrey and Nadia joined us. And so I would love for, if anybody's ready to, basically what we're saying is just, what are the biggest takeaways? It doesn't have to be what a speaker said, or it could have just, you learned something about yourself that really, like if you didn't go to reunion, you wouldn't have gotten that aha, or you wouldn't have learned that about yourself or your business or your just personal life. If you want to share, if there's anything that's attending reunion benefited you, and in any way, if you guys want to, I guess I'll ask Nadia first, since she's smiling at me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I had like one specific epiphany moment. There were a ton of things I learned, or was exposed to. I'll have to practice them in order to say that I have like learned that skill. But there were a lot of things. I enjoyed Amy Purdy a lot as well. And, her whole thing was kind of, she said to view challenges through the lens of curiosity, which is not how I tend to view challenges. I tend to view challenges as like, the wall that's coming up. And, but to view it as like, okay, here is a wall, like, how am I getting over it? That was just kind of a much more optimistic way to look at it. Like, oh, now I get to be creative and like use my brain and come up with something potentially amazing. But I'm trying to think. Really, Jess knows that we went the last day to the home office expo, and we went to the email person, and just kind of hearing different things from like the social media and email people. They were really pounding in like simplicity. It was like, he kept saying like simple, but better, like keep it simple, but better than what you're, and he kind of said for us, when we're sending these emails, which I did not know, I apparently look like spam. My emails look like everything that's supposed to go to a junk folder, because I'm like, sale, don't do that apparently, because I guess algorithms and different things like that. So he basically said to start looking at what the emails that I get in a day from all of the different retailers, and to see what they do, and just try to emulate those things, because they have people there who they pay a ton of money to make their emails look that way. So, and to kind of have this specific flow. So it's just not reinventing the wheel. There were a lot of things through SFR that it was like simplicity was just kind of coming up, like keep it simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're better together, lean on each other. It doesn't, and it's funny, actually, one of my favorite quotes actually came from you, Jess. And it was, we were leaving the hotel, and there was a little boy all by himself in the hallway running around. And he belonged in one of those rooms, but I kept kind of going, why don't you go to your mom and just ask her, where's your mom? Why don't you ask, so I just kept doing that. And Jess, he looked at her backpack, and she had the little baby Yoda on there, and he said, oh, baby Yoda. And she said, she's pausing, and then she's like, do you want him? You should. He goes, oh, yeah. And he got so excited, and he ran back into the room and to show his mom. And we hurried up and got in the elevator before, like, he came back out to try to like just hang out in the hallway with strangers again. And I was like, that is so awesome of you. And she said, I've started to listen to the feeling of when my gut tells me yes in that first instance, to just do it and not talk myself out of it. And that was my first instinct, was to say yes. And I'm like, gosh, because I can talk myself out of anything. I have a really good arguer in here. Like, my brain should have been like a lawyer. I can argue myself out of anything for whatever reason. And it is absolutely that first instinct that's probably the best one, and not going against that. Yeah, it was a great experience. It was fun. And all the giveaways and all the energy was amazing. I enjoyed it. There were definitely, for me, a lot of challenges, because I'm not like a large group kind of a person. I'm like a lone wolf kind of a person who, was pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. And, I did learn a lot of things about myself, and I enjoyed that. It was amazing and fun, and then uncomfortable at times, but absolutely worth it for the whole experience, just to meet everybody and get to feel that energy. Yeah, it's like a concert. You can listen to the CD, you can go to the concert. Like, I love live events for that reason, because I want to feel the energy. So all the general sessions were like my favorite part, when we were just like all crammed in there, and like, that was awesome. So
Yay. Thanks for sharing, Nadia. That's awesome. Okay, Miss Aubrey, if you wouldn't mind, oh, you can't hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. So let us know, you've been to reunion before. Oh, by the way, that was Nadia's first reunion. So that was really cool that you got that much out of it. And there was only Amanda, Bray, and Nadia that was their first. Everybody else had been there before. So I'm actually going to ask you a different question, Aubrey, since you've been to several reunions. Being away so long from reunion that we've all, what did you get out of it that, like, maybe did you have any ahas of like how much you like, did you realize, did it remind you of why you went originally? Like, like what was your take homes as far as like not being a new person going in, but somebody that's been there before? Was it different in a good way, maybe even a bad way? I know we did some things different, but like, what was your biggest impact of this reunion?
Biggest impact. I just loved every part of it. Like, I eat it up. I realized about myself, like, I need that connection. I need that regroup. Otherwise, I am off track, haywire, just flying by the seat of my pants, not in a good way. And I need connection. I need to be around people that are doing what I'm doing and have goal-driven business builders, because I like to bounce ideas off each other. Oh, I never would have thought to try that idea. And then, oh, I never would have thought of doing it that way. I like that stuff. I love the trainings. Always something good. You can find at least 2, 3, 4, more than enough to fill it. But I just loved it, reunion, and I hope that we never go back to not having them every year.
Me too.
That's what I learned. We cannot do this. We can't go another 2 years without seeing each other.
Yes. So why would you recommend somebody that either wasn't there this year, whether they couldn't or they just decided didn't want to, or has never been and just, maybe they didn't have an opportunity to go, because a lot of people joined.
I'm on a call, Brooklyn. What do you need? The food. Oh, Grandma. But she said, is it Aubrey in here? Tell her I'm on a video call. Thank you.
but she said to ask you.
Right.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, whoa, oh my gosh, I'm getting started. I'm so sorry. Shh. what advice would you give people that have either never been because they just never thought to go, or maybe they couldn't make it this year, maybe they didn't like plan to go, so it just turned out that they couldn't, but why should they plan starting now, knowing that it's in Charlotte? We have a whole year to plan. Why do you think that they should plan to go?
So this, for me in my app, was my upline. It's a non-negotiable for us. We don't miss it. After my first one, I was like, we're not missing this. We're going to go every single year. So the impact that it had on me, I go religiously every single year. I'm going to in person. I'm going. And I think that just dip your toes in the water. Just try one time. Just try one time. See what happens. See what happens. You won't be able to leave.
You'll drink the Kool-Aid and you'll never always have to, right?
I got my
Awesome.
cup filled up at reunion.
Yes, that's definitely what I could say. It does that for me too. It
Yeah.
fills my cup up. Because
Yep.
I'm the kind of person that I give so much energy out and I drain myself and like till my battery's gone. And then like, so Scentsy structures it so perfect, like right around when I'm about to like I'm just done. They do some type of event or something exciting to look forward to. And it just like boosts me
Yeah.
up. And I'm like,
Yep.
they literally structured this business for somebody like me because it like rejuvenates me. So that's a good example. Okay, Miss Michelle, you were there, and I know you shared some stuff, and you talked about Amy Purdy as well, but is there anything that you learned on a personal level about yourself this time, because of your experience that you had, maybe a different experience that you never had before?
Well, different would be, I would say like the Airbnb. So I roomed with two team members. Well, I would say sidelines were all under Jess that I knew, and then 7 other women that we didn't know. And so when they say you join Scentsy, you gain a family, it's totally what happened. And so, I mean, I can't even say that I'm like shy. I try to say that I'm shy, but I'm not. I will talk to anyone. But the relationships that you will, if you open yourself and kind of let yourself be open and at an SFR, take the time to talk to anybody. I mean, I roomed with people, so I kind of was forced to talk to them, right? But it was just, to tell you, we were bawling when people were leaving. We had our like a pizza, we like just mentioned earlier, the pizza party as a, everybody come and share, we all got to share what we got out of it and all that kind of stuff. But we had people that were leaving because of flights and whatnot. I'm not a crier. I wouldn't say I'm totally an emotional person, but the connections that were gained, are gonna last forever. So I mean, we were literally bawling because it was like I said, it was like summer camp. All of my best friends from the week were leaving me, and I mean, I know I'll see them again. I mean, we all said we're gonna see each other, and we have built-in accountability. It's like, we want to do this more than once a year. We want to be at director boot camp. We want to be at leadership. We want to, just see each other more. Like, let's earn that incentive. Let's, and so everybody has their own why as to why they join. I'm a special education teacher. I joined because I love personal growth. I love talking to people. I love learning from people. But this was the first year where we're like, people that have nothing to gain from me growing are now accountability partners that are like, let's all just, boost each other up. And I think that like in this climate, coming out of like being in isolation and being home and not being able to socialize and not being able to gather, taking away from these opportunities as much as we possibly can, and allowing ourselves to learn and grow and fill, there's people out there that are going to fill our cups in ways that we didn't even know we needed. Having a sisterhood that I didn't even know was possible. Just making friends. As adults, it's a lot harder for us to make friends, right? And to have Scentsy be that foundation. And then, and we didn't talk about Scentsy the whole time. We talked about our lives. I talked about how my first reunion was the first time that I went on a trip without my husband and my kids. And my kids were teenagers when this happened, and it was like, wow, this is something that I'm doing for me, that I'm excited about, that I get to look forward to. Like, I get to do this. I get to plan something for me. And screw society sometimes, where they try to make, because it's all women on this call right now, and I know it's recorded, but that make us feel guilty for taking time out as mothers for ourselves. Like, we can't pour into our families if our cups are empty and we're depleted and we're worn out and we're so spread thin that there's nothing left. To come back, I think it's empowering for us to come home and to say, I filled my cup. I love you guys. I missed you, but I need to do things for me too. And if you come back better, your family's going to say, when is that SFR? Because you need to go and you need to fill your cup and you need to do you so that you can come back better to us. And it's like, peace out. Cool. Because I am, I've been texting my husband, like I was at Hobby Lobby and it's like, our song is Together. And I was like, together we're better, together we're good. And I'm being all cheesy, and I got him a cup and it was a Mandalorian, and it was like, I love you to the whatever Mandalorian thing and back, and cheesy things like that. But it's like, that's good for us. That time away is good. That space is away, and absence makes the love grow fonder. But I love I went to an all-girls school, and it wasn't Scentsy, let me tell you. It was not Scentsy. Like, girls were just so mean. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to have girlfriends. I don't know if I trust women. I don't know, and with Scentsy, like, these relationships are authentic. These relationships, like, we can say, hey, my car broke down, and whoever's close enough is going to come to your rescue. Like, it's that. It's not wax. It's not wormers. It's not the business. It's really the relationships and the sisterhood and brotherhood and all of that fills our cup, that, you have people that have your back and whatever you want. Like, we were, like I said, I was bawling my eyes out. I met these women on Tuesday. They're leaving on Saturday. And I'm like crying like a crazy baby. And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm so emotional. But see, like, I'm not an emotional person. So I see, like, that's a bad thing. I was like, what is wrong? Am I psycho? Like, what's wrong? But it's because they impacted my life so much in that short amount of time that, like, I was like, I love you guys. Like, I love you guys. So if anything, like Audrey said, Aubrey, I always do that to you. Go once. That's the challenge. Go one time. You wasted $1,000, because I'm saying, like, the tickets, the getting there, and the food and souvenirs. Let's just say $1,000.
Yeah.
Break that up into, now you have you have 13 months, because it's not till July. So you have 13 months. Break up $1,000 into the next 13 months. Invest in yourself, invest in your sanity, invest in your, if anything, I get to get away from my family for a few days. And then, like, report back to yourself. Was that something that was worth it? And I 1,000% guarantee you, your answer is going to be yes. It's going to be yes. I turned 40 years old when I joined Scentsy, and I was like, I'm finally doing something for myself. Holy cow. You know, like that's kind of messed up, but but you know, I'll never miss an SFR. I love seeing everyone. I love the hugs. I love the smiles. I love the excitement. I love the energy. You know, it's just you owe it to yourself. Oh, yeah, I love that. That was my Pooh was my daughter's that was my theme for my daughter. She's now 22. And so like I love that. We're like children. We're totally children, and it's totally Oprah, and it's you get a this and you get a this and you get a this, and we're all like woohooing. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, and you get so much out of it.
Oh my gosh, that's like drop the mic. I love it. So inspiring. I love it. Thank you, Michelle. Oh my gosh, that makes my heart so warm. I love that. Okay, so let's see. Debbie says, I'm so looking forward to going next year. I'm getting ready to sign up my oldest daughter while we still have the special going on. Nice. She's getting ready to move to Jacksonville, Florida in a couple months and gonna run her business down there. Awesome. Congratulations, Debbie. That's so exciting. And just a reminder, you probably know this, but just remind you that if she hits her 500, she'll get that shooting star for free. So that is amazing. $300 worth of products for free is like such a great incentive. So I'm so excited to see Tanya on here. Oh my goodness, my friend. So you guys, she has been with me literally from the beginning. Like we were at Holloman Air Force Base together. And I didn't even recruit her. Somebody else did. And I feel bad. I don't even remember her name. She wasn't with me for very long. I didn't know the girl. She just like joined underneath me out of nowhere. And then she sponsored Tanya, and she's just been a part of our family forever. So what made you get on today? I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see your beautiful face.
I really wasn't going to talk. I just wanted to pop on. I saw the Facebook that you went live, and I thought, you know what? I miss her voice. I just miss her voice. I'm real sorry that you can't smell. That happened to me, and I finally got it back. So there might be hope that since will come back. I mean, I lost mine for about 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's still hope.
So,
I'm only a few months behind you or ahead of you, or whatever it is, longer than you. But yeah, well, here's the thing. I never had a strong sense of smell. So maybe that's why it's taking me longer, because that's one part of my business that I always kind of kept quiet too, except for my friends and like close clients, is that there's a lot that I still couldn't smell, because unless I like right in front of my face, because I always had a low sense of smell. So I'm thinking maybe that's why it's hit me so hard, but I'm just hoping that even that little bit of smell that I did have before will come back, because I miss it.
Yeah.
So you've been to a reunion. I know it's been a long time ago, but is there anything you remember about our SFR?
I mean, overall, things that I learned about myself and continuing on, because in turn, I have left and then since come back to Scentsy. And so things that I've learned just through SFR and just running a business in general are kind of, for me, are the boundaries in which I can exceed. I used to think that, we can do a little bit here and there, and that's about it. I think when I first joined, I ended up with a team of 5, and I was probably one of very few that had overseas consultants underneath me. So that became a really big kind of, I don't want to say slap in the face, because that seems harsh. But just that aha of, who would have thought, not only can I get people that are neighbors or friends within my community, but I can have an impact across the country and continue to support and guide them, because I think depending on how long you've been with Scentsy, you realize very quickly that if your team succeeds, you succeed. And so really, I mean, the support from Jess is amazing. but then taking that on myself and being able to support that team. Right now, I really just do this part-time. Just really, it's for me because I can't give up Scentsy, because the moment I give up Scentsy, then life is just not the same. And so I really just do it for me right now. But I've taken the skills and the things that I'd learned from running my bigger business, I guess you would say, to what I currently do, which is I've managed to work my way up in a school district. And so now I'm the administrative assistant under curriculum, which is, for the one who said that you are in schools, you probably realize that might be a really big job, and it is. And so, but I really see a parallel to the skills that I've learned with Scentsy and the direction in which I'm able to even articulate conversations or really reach out to people beyond what Scentsy, the Scentsy business, and into, my other job. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that. That's so awesome. And I really feel like that's the goal of Scentsy, is that for us, for the things we learn, to be able to implement it into our personal lives and our other jobs. Just basically, that's why they say add value to the world, is they really want to add value to our lives. It doesn't necessarily have to be the end all, that's the only thing you do, thing. It's to help you learn skills and learn more about yourself and be able to emphasize the life that you have. And that just makes me so happy to hear that. And I'm so proud that you've had such great success in this new journey that you have, and that Scentsy is able to help with that. And I love that you shared that. It's true. I always say people, they don't regret joining, they regret waiting to join. And then if they do go away, they always come back. And you're a perfect example of that, because you don't realize what you miss.
Yeah. And I think what was easy to come back was because we were a military family that was constantly moving. I could continue to do this wherever I was. And so it was easy to come back. It's easy to take with you. It doesn't matter what state I'm in, that can continue to be a constant. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry I put you on the spot, but I was so happy to see you.
That's okay. Cindy just sent me a message. She's like, is that you I see? Yeah, I know. It's been a long time.
Yay. Okay, so, well, hello, Mitch. That's a nice surprise. He wanted to join in and to hear what you guys had to say. So I sent him the link. Okay, so Anna and Debbie sent. Oh,
sorry.
Did you say hi? Tanya's saying hi.
Hi,
Mitch. So Debbie and Anna, do you have any questions for any of us, like about reunion? That, like, I mean, you both sound like you're like, I'm going, so that decision's made. But do you have any questions that you may have that you want us to answer about reunion?
Hi, Jessie. I actually want to know more or less, what are the prices of the tickets to attend the FFR?
Okay, good question. So usually it's and I can't guarantee, but generally they're about 300 when you enroll initially, and then if you that's like an early registration. But there is a payment plan that you could just enroll to get your ticket, and then they open it up early enough that you can pay it off by the time you get the reunion. And then if there's a late registration time, it's like $50 more. And then they sometimes have walk-in prices, which is the same price, the $350. But what we love to share is that, like, all this stuff behind me, we got for free. And the amount that, like, these are all products that help you, grow your business faster after. We got like a special edition scent that's only for a reunion attendees. So you get a lot of really special stuff that financially kind of pays you back. You don't have to buy a new tester set. That's one expense. So, but, and then obviously this too. So, this was in that, but,
Where's your owl?
huh? Oh, and
Where's
the owl, Allie already confiscated mine. So does anybody have yours any near? I forgot the owl. We got the owl too. Yes. Yeah, she snatched that bad boy up real fast.
And as far as like when you attend the convention and you know how you took pictures and videos and that's how I was like, ooh, I've seen a lot of complaints in some of the groups I'm in saying that some consultants have shared with their customers. Are we allowed to share those photos or not?
Okay, good question. You are allowed to share them. However, you just have to remember that, like, if you're marketing it too much, you may hurt your sales for the next 2 months.
Right.
Because they'll go, oh, I'm not going to buy anything until that comes out. But like me, I shared because I want them to know what's coming, but I'm not going to share anything further. I'm not going to pump it anymore. Like, I just want to get them excited. Like, it just depends on what your goal is. Like me, my mind is always sponsoring. So I'm always sharing, like, this is what you could be a part of type thing. As my little Yorkie yells at me right now. And here. But if you're looking for like sales wise, you don't want to show too much because it can hurt your sales, because they're like, well, I'm going to wait till the new catalog to buy, because you know, I want to buy that stuff. So does anybody else have any suggestions on that of how you handle that? That's the way I do it.
Yeah, I would say slow going. You could tease,
Yeah.
you know, you could totally tease things. Yeah, because we don't know when it's exactly when things are coming out. And so other consultants might kind of get upset because they don't want people to know, and I don't know, things get stolen. So it's a touchy.
It's a sticky situation. Yeah,
It
because,
is.
you know, because you could try to not say anything, but then you'll get people say, oh, well, you never told me, but I saw on somebody else's page that this is coming out. And you're just like, so you just kind of have to go with your gut, you know, of how you feel. I was just excited to share everything. And so, and I know that people are going to share anyways. So I'm like, well, they might as well see it from me, but I'm not going to like continue to talk about it because I don't want them to think I'm not going to do anything.
I'll share on my VIP page and with people that I know are interested in those things. Slowly.
Hi.
Hi, Mitch.
Hey, Michelle, I'm sorry.
Go for it. I'm done.
Well, one of the main reasons why we share is because we want our consultants that aren't there, honestly, to see what they're missing.
Yeah,
That's
why I do. Yeah.
We want everybody. We're like, you know what? It would be so much more fun if you were there. I mean, the years I don't go, Jess is always like, you can't not go anymore. You can't not go. We just got done talking about it, you know, and she's right. I can't not go anymore. And now I have a job where I don't have to worry about basically time off. I mean, I still have to earn my time off, but it's a lot more laid back than my old job. So it's a lot easier to get time off when I need it. So
plan like he's doing. He's going to plan now that he knows where he's going. He knows the times. If you want your husbands to go, or even just yourself, just, you know, when you think about it, when there's a will, there's a way. You have a whole year. If you tell your family, your friends, I mean, not your friends, your family, your work, this is what I'm doing, you know, they're going to figure it out. But if you throw it on them like a month or two ahead, then it's likely you might not get approved, or you might not have the money. But if you plan now, you'll know what you're getting into and it'll be an easy thing. So sorry to cut you off, babe. I just wanted to like emphasize, like, because some people want their spouses to come and it's hard to get them to go. Like, okay, Mr. Favorite spouse.
That's all. All right.
What did you say?
If I'm going to be there, everybody's husband's got to go. Come on.
I already
All right.
told Joey. Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line. That's it. You know, Ralph goes. I'm sorry, Ralph. I wasn't there this year.
Oh,
but
Ralph is so excited. Ralph beat you to it. Ralph was like woohooing louder than Cindy.
Well, having a spouse there too definitely helps them. And we, at the pizza party, there were several spouses that came and they were like, you know, it was funny. This one guy's like, I literally thought you guys were just this crazy cult. And I didn't know what it was about, why my wife was so crazy about Scentsy. He's like, but I had to see it. He goes, I saw the love. I saw why she feels so connected, is happier than she was before Scentsy. She's like, and he's like, I now see it with my own eyes, and it's a great thing. He's like, and I don't want to miss it either. And then another one of our, that was from another, the other people, not on our team, but then Leanne, her husband has been to reunion before. And so we asked him, like, why do you keep going? He's like, because it makes my wife happy, first of all. He goes, but I just love the culture of what it represents. And you can't really explain it until you see it yourself. And Mitch didn't really understand it either until he saw it himself. You know, I tried to tell him, and it's not that he didn't believe me, it's just he didn't really process it until he was right there in middle of the Scentsy culture. And, you know, and he's sad when he doesn't get to go, you know? So that's why I was just like, we just have to make it happen now. And like you said, he now does have a job that makes it easier to be able to do it. But you just have to plan, you know, ahead and know what you're doing. And I love how Aubrey said, and Michelle, it's just, there's no, like, it's just that's what I'm doing. There's no, I forget the verbiage you guys said, but basically it's just, there's no option.
It's a non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Thank you. I was like, it was a great expression, but
Nadia just pinged in about, you know, hopefully that the cruise will convince Carl. And I'll be honest,
yes.
Nadia,
Talk about that, babe.
When he sees, you know what, Buzzy and I were just talking about this the other day about the Scentsy trips. And to be honest with you, Scentsy goes unbelievably overboard with everything that they do, right? If you ever earned a trip, like for instance, you can't say that you've been to Disney World unless you've been with, well, you can say, but if you've gone with Scentsy, every time you go to Disney World after that, it's like a letdown, because who else shuts down a whole park for just their people for 3 hours? Nobody. And the after parties, the food, the ice cream, the treats, you know, our kids just don't realize that is not a Disney World trip.
They're so spoiled.
So you're telling me that Scentsy is going to ruin me on going to Alaska ever again?
100%.
Don't bother going again. Okay.
And when your husband sees that and realizes, like, we don't have to pay for anything, this is all inclusive. When Jess and I went on our first trip, we got there late. Like, there was like delays, and it was Punta Cana. We got there late, right? And we had to go get something to eat because we were starving. We haven't eaten anything since we got there at like 11:30 at night, and we left at like, I don't know, like 8 in the morning or something like that. It was crazy, right? So we go to pay for something because we don't know. We've never been on an all-inclusive trip before. And the lady's like, no, it's already taken care of. We're like, what are you talking about? She's like, your wristband that you're wearing? We're like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it's all done. I was like, so we just get up and leave? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you're not going to chase me down? They're like, no. So, I mean, honestly, that's the first time we've ever been on an all-inclusive trip. And after that, that was like unbelievable. So I'm telling you, they do a trip. It's like, you can't even explain it. You can't even explain. When you go on your cruise, Nadia, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. and that's going to be it. You next time you go on a cruise with just you and your husband, you're going to be like, our last cruise wasn't like this. This sucks.
This is not Scentsy style.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
want to share something with you guys that I haven't really talked about in a while. Actually, I realized that a lot of consultants don't know this, okay? And hopefully this will inspire you to, if you are a lead consultant and above, that Scentsy, when you don't make your title in a month, it's called an override, okay? An override is the bonus, the Scentsy bonus that you get for making your title. So let's say you don't put in your 500 or something, all that sponsor bonus, they don't just take it and put it in the bank. Okay, what they do is they take that money and they put it into Scentsy trips, whether it's reunion or Scentsy incentives. That's why they make it so amazing, because they want the people that are really working their business hard, I'm, nothing against the people that are hobbyists or part-time, because that's why this business is so amazing, because you could do whatever you want with it. But the people that are really, really busting their butt, they want them to have that magical, unforgettable, Scentsy style, ruins you with any other trip experience. So they use all that extra money that they're supposed to pay out, and they put it into these trips, and they do all the extra little things. And they spend like, and to be honest with you, I don't know if this reunion was the norm. They did change a lot, because it was like half the amount of people that normally go, but they normally spend like a few $100,000 just on lighting, just to make the experience of, and when we were there, they were doing like these fireworks from the stage. They were doing all the confetti. Like, that's all stuff that's not necessary, but they do that just for that extra emotional jolt of excitement. And that's what they do. So, and then I actually just had a consultant contact me before this call about, she was a little upset about eBay, about how consultants and people buy things and they sell them on eBay. And that's something we just can't control. Scentsy has their people trying to track all those people and get them off the market. But unfortunately, they are clever, and they're gonna, make it so they never can truly find those people, whether they're consultants or whatever. But anyways, long story short, she was like, well, Scentsy, is making all this money off of people that buy up the stock and then sell it on eBay. And it made me really sad, because it made me realize how much she really doesn't know Scentsy's culture and Scentsy's heart. And so I wanted to, Scentsy is just all about us, you guys. Their goal from the very beginning, Orville and Heidi decided to make it a direct sales company. So women, generally women, can stay home with their families and still contribute to their home financially. And that was me. Not everybody's like that, but they succeeded in our life. I wasn't contributing financially, and it really upset me emotionally and confidence wise, that I couldn't help Mitch financially with anything. I mean, yes, I was taking care of our kids, but it hurt me just on a confidence level that I wasn't contributing. And so that's why Scentsy created a direct sales company, so you can work from home, and then also to help those people that just want extra money while working a full-time job or whatever. But they also won't sell scent. They were offered in 2011 by, if anybody knows who Warren Buffett is, he's the one that, like, he's one of the most richest guys in the world, and he bought up Pampered Chef, and he changed the compensation plan completely. They used to, like, the director's position used to be kind of like Scentsy, that, once you made a certain stats, you get your title. Well, he changed it that, like, once you become a director, you have to sponsor 5 people every single month to stay a director. That is hard. I'm going to say it myself. I've done it before, but I've never done it just every single month, 5 or more people. And so a lot of directors lost their businesses. And so Scentsy saw that, and they were offered like $1 billion for Scentsy back in 2011. And they said, no, because I don't want our consultants to be the opportunity, and we don't want to hurt our consultants' careers and lifestyle and the ability to make money. And so, and what I also told this consultant is, which a lot of people don't know, Scentsy hasn't used money from their profit since 2015. They're one of the only direct sales company that is debt-free, you guys. We own our own warehouses. So we make everything. We're not, we do have some other distributors to help us with materials, but what they're doing is constantly trying to make it so we are providing everything. So we don't run out. Like, that's another reason why we were so successful when other direct sales went under, is because when companies weren't making materials, we were making our own products. So we were able to continue to make stuff. Yes, there were some things we were out of, but there was a majority of a lot of stuff that we didn't run out of because we had our own products. So we're literally in the most financially stable company out there. And so no matter how much hardship, the world has, you're a part of a company that is stable. And if you want to work your business and make money, you can continue to do that. And that's why so many people grew so much through the pandemic. So I just want you guys to know that you're literally a part of such an amazingly genuine, loving company. And I'd love for just a couple of the people that have been with, went to Reunion, to share your take homes of the culture and the heart of Scentsy, as far as like the home office of what you heard, or the way they made you feel, like what you saw that you feel is just genuine and different from other like companies and just maybe places you've worked for or whatever. Can anybody shine any light on that?
Quickly, I'll just touch on, just how dedicated Scentsy was to showing their appreciation for their consultants. We had, Scentsy had not had people together in 3 years. And so there were all these consultants that needed to like walk the stage. And it was like, they just kind of made it open to people who maybe even before had missed a reunion or whatever. They just really wanted to make sure everybody got that feeling. And just walking around, there were people there who bought things, brought things, made things, to hand out to other consultants just to like put a smile on their face. Like I got to come home and someone had given me a button that I got some compliments on, and then another person had given me a sticker, and I got to give the sticker to my daughter who loves it. She has like a whole sticker wall, and she just was like, oh, have a great day. That people just looking to bring joy to other people. And that was something that was really amazing, because I was just like a deer in the headlights. I was like, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what I should be doing, where I should be, what is going on. So just to have people there that were so, joyous and welcoming, it made it a lot easier, for me to feel like I belonged, which is a hard thing for me because I feel I am so awkward. Like I'm like, I don't fit. I'm like that square peg. That's how I feel all the time. So it was a really good thing. I enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That makes me happy. I know that Cindy and Ralph got to run into Dan, and can you share that cool little story?
So we were coming back to the hotel from lunch, from lunch, and we were in the we were going back to the hotel, and we see Dan like running, like walking super, super fast through the crosswalk. And then he had went past our hotel, and then we saw him again coming back. He goes, I don't know where to get in. I don't know how I'm supposed to get in there. And then when we actually got inside the convention center, Ralph's just like, are you lost again? And he goes, I still can't figure out how to get in. All these doors are locked, but just so down to earth, and just so, I think it was Friday night Saturday night, closing night. He was out front before the general session closing started, just taking pictures with everybody. Just, hey, how are you? Him and Ralph talked about him running across the crosswalk, and everybody's like that. I mean, from Jess and Mitch to Becca and Terry and Callie. I mean, everybody, doesn't matter their title per se. Everybody that I've interacted with from the home office and throughout the company is like that. Very appreciative. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, Dan Orchard, in case anybody that's watching the recording
yeah.
that does, that's my
Sorry.
fault. I said Dan, and Dan Orchard's the president of the company. So,
and
yeah,
you feel like you know them, because
Yes.
they actually take a general, interest in you and what you're doing and how your business is doing.
and it doesn't matter what level you are. You could be brand new. This is your first event. You signed up 4 days before. Everybody is valued. I shared with some people recently about, I went to an event once, and the booth next to me, it was some jewelry company. I don't know what it was, but I was actually advertising the event, the incentive of it was the first time that they let us choose different options. There was like 6 different locations. And so I had all the locations, and my sign said like, come with us to one of these locations. And she's like, oh, that's really cool. I wish I actually have always wanted to go to Costa Rica. I'm like, yeah, that's where my husband and I, that's where we're goaling to go to. And she goes, yeah. She goes, well, in my company, not only the top people can go. And I was like, what? And she's like, well, yeah. She goes, well, yeah, basically the top earners are the only ones that are allowed to go. And I was just like, are you serious? And I was just so blown away. I couldn't even process it, because what Mitch shared last year at reunion with a lot of the people that came to our house to do the virtual with us, that a lot of people don't know, is that it's actually easier to earn an incentive when you're lower in because you're promoting up the way. And Nadia actually was kind of like, yeah, right. And then she realized that that was true during the incentive, because she saw her points just racking up as she was promoting. And she's like, wait a minute, I'm about to earn this trip.
No, funny thing, Mitch had said that at your house for our SFR thing. And he was like, you guys, I'm telling you, it's easier. And Mitch, I'm going to say it. I've said it behind your back, but I'm going to say it to your face. I thought you were full of it. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. That's a great spiel and whatever. And now that I did this, and because I did get those extra points, which I would not have earned this had I not gotten those extra, promotion points. Yeah, you were right. So there you go.
I'm sure. No,
Yay.
it's honestly, until you do it and put your mindset to it, you're gonna think I'm full of crap. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, it's no joke. When she first earned the trip for us, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." She's like, "We're going to Costa Rica." I'm like, "No, we're not." And I didn't believe it until we were actually getting on the plane.
No, you're talking about Punta Cana. You
Oh,
believe
Punta Cana, that's
Costa
right.
Rica.
Not Costa. You
Our
just said
first trip
Costa
was
Rica.
Punta
Yeah.
Cana.
It was Punta Cana. So I was just like, "There's no way," And yeah, sure enough, I'm telling you, it's if you're just beginning in the business, now's the time to start and get crazy, because you will earn one of those trips next year. Guarantee it. It goes from 1st of August to January 31st. And if you put your mind to it and you build your team and you start promoting, you're gonna earn it by November. But,
Very
okay.
possible. Very true. A lot of people do that. Okay, well, we're like 20 minutes over normal time, but this is a big subject because it's a big deal. There's lots of exciting things to be excited about. Like I thought I had my catalog right here. So just so you guys know, make sure that you look at the what to expect for the transition in the news tab, just so you know what's happening as far as like buying your transition stuff during July, while you get your discounts, so you're all ready for August launch, things like that. And you heard from a lot of people that the connection and just being around other consultants is so powerful. So showing up to these things, you guys, I mean, I like to pretend like it's not the truth, but it is, that it's important to show up and just be connected and get the energy from everybody and just get that support, because the majority of the time we're working our businesses by ourselves. It's a me, myself, and I business, right? So you've got to give yourself a way to refill your cup and be reminded that you're not in this alone, and utilize your upline, utilize your sponsor, your director, me, I might be all 3 of those, but utilize me, knowing that we care and we want you to know that you're not alone. Okay. So even if don't ever feel like you're bugging any of us, because this is what we do. This is what we love it. And it's because of you guys that we have this business. And so we have to remember that. So if you're a leader, remember to reach out to your team members to check on them, because I forgive me who said it. If your team is successful, it was Tanya that said it, is if your team is successful, you're successful. So, and they're only going to be successful if they feel connected and engaged, to be honest with you. So, Debbie's got a question. Go ahead, honey. Oh, wait, go ahead and unmute. I muted you by accident. Sorry.
Okay. The question was, I heard you guys talk about where you can make payments towards the trip. or for
Yes.
the reunion. Now, what happens if you earn one of the incentives for that and you've already paid the trip? Do you get, the money back or what?
That's a great question. They don't start the payment plan until after you already know if you've earned it or not.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's like February, March when you are able to register, I believe. Am I right,
Okay.
you guys? Around that time frame. It's after the
Yeah,
incentive.
well, the last payment was the week before SFR,
Yeah, that's how I.
and
did
it's
my
every
payment
month.
plan.
But it
So I
doesn't
think-
start until
right, so
after.
the initial,
Right.
the initial one's like $80, and then so
Mhm.
like 3-4 months before.
Yeah, so it's after, like, you already know January 31st if you've earned it or not. So you don't start making payments and registering until after that.
Okay.
So yeah, you won't be putting that money, but just start saving it and putting it aside.
Yeah.
So when you do, if you don't earn it, then you can start,
Okay.
plugging
Then
away.
you have,
And do you
then you
guys,
have spending money.
yeah, true. And then did you guys all do like an Airbnb, or how did you guys do
Okay,
that?
so I'm going to share with you this is my perspective. This is just Jess. Yes, a lot of them did Airbnbs, and Michelle had, and all of them had such a great experience. Me personally, because I have leadership, I have all this, I realized that Airbnb is just not for me. I have to be close. And that's why all the years prior, I kind of forgot about I learned the hard way years ago that I always book in the hotels that are booked out by Scentsy. So it's walking distance. It's I'm actually, you're in the hotel with a lot of other consultants. You get to mingle with them. It's just a really good. Oh, bye, Aubrey. Okay, thank you for popping on. Love you. So you just have to know what you need.
Okay.
If you want the experience of being in an Airbnb with a bunch of other consultants, or since you said you're bringing are you bringing your husband, or?
No, he's actually drag race. He's going to be up in like Seattle at that time.
Okay.
So
But say like if you and your daughter come, like you can like, book a room, or it's really preference. Honestly, you guys, like I have to do
I
what's
agree.
best for me, and you guys got to do what's best for you. I mean, if it's your first reunion, I would say to either be with somebody that or close to, be in the hotel where there's other consultants and stuff. It's just easier because there's so much walking. If you forget something in your hotel, it's 5 minutes away instead of having to Uber back and forth. Like, it was fine for Michelle and a bunch of the other women because there were so many of them. They split the cost of the Uber and the Airbnb. So it's really what you're looking to do. Like, I think it was
I would say, I mean, I've stayed in hotels, and this was my first Airbnb. I would say, we even talked about it. We all said, next year we're all staying in a hotel. We'll pick the same one. And make it easy, because it gets expensive with the Ubers. Proximity was nice. Like my first SFR was with Jess, and we stayed right across the street, and that was so convenient and so nice. The next time, I think it was third. This is my fourth. Anyway, I was like, wait a minute. But I've always been within walking distance. This was the first year that we weren't. So getting an Uber to do Fitness Marshall that starts at 7 to be there at 6:30 was rough.
So
okay.
I would
you
stay.
avoid some stress if you're close.
Yeah.
And that's why Scentsy does it. They literally block off a bunch of like a group block of rooms. And it usually is a little bit less expensive because it is a room block. So than if you book yourself. So
okay.
Yeah, it's up to you though. But people do everything. Some people just book their own hotel. Like some people are already booked in their hotels. Like now they just.
Yeah, I was seeing some of the chats, and they said they were having problems getting in. I'm like, well, it's over a year out, and it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. Where is the physical location the event is taking place? I just know Charlotte, and I'm assuming it's like the convention center.
Convention center.
Yeah. So, All right, anybody, any last comments or questions before we go? I'm gonna check our Facebook page to see if anybody's on. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine's on. She was there. She's been to reunions. She's watching on the Facebook Live. Okay, so no questions. All right, well, first of all, thank you all. Oh, go ahead, Cindy.
Oh, no, go ahead. No.
Are you sure? Okay. Thank you all for being on. Oh, Nada, did you have something to say?
No, I was just gonna say, I'm looking forward to going again now that I know like a little bit more. I'm sure there's so much more to still know, but I definitely having the hotel and you know, being able to walk. It was nice when we had a bunch of stuff that they'd given us, all that free swag stuff to be able to just like run it across or just kind of walked everything. Now that was way more convenient and I slept better than in the Airbnb for sure. So that was nice. So yeah, there are definite upsides. So to knowing some of these things now, what I would prefer and like know, you know, for the future. I didn't know anything going in. So it was all new.
Yes. All right. Well, again, thank you all for showing up and sharing and the questions that were asked. And just start planning now. There's a cute little document that somebody's made years ago that I'm going to share, or I'm going to find it. It's already on our group page, but I'm going to find it. That she made this up and literally went to reunion because she did this. She like, it's like a tracker, like you put like a little bit of money in your little reunion jar every day. You like double it. And because she did that, she had all the money she needed by the time registration happened, and all her spending money and her hotel money. And there's just so many creative ways to do it. And I thought it was kind of cute and it worked for her. So I'll make sure that I repost that. And like I said, or like all of us said, just start planning now. And Michelle did a great estimate. It's generally around 1,000 all together with registration, with travel, with food, with lodge, all that. So if you just plan now and break it up between 13 months, it's really not that bad if you really want to be there. And I always like to end with this. My sponsor, my very first year, I joined in April. They opened registration up in March, which I was still broke. And I said, I can't afford to go right now. I haven't made enough money yet. And she's like, Jess, you can't afford not to go. And it wasn't just because I was broke. It was because she said, if you really want this business to grow, you've got to go to reunion. And she couldn't have been more right. I say it a million times, it's the baptism to your business. You really decide whether this is what you want and this is your culture and these are your people and whether you belong. And there's not a lot of people that leave there saying I don't belong. They realize that it's literally for everybody. There's all shapes and sizes and ages and colors and, you know, whatever. There is not one cookie cutter consultant of anything, personality or nothing. You really see how it doesn't matter who you are. You can be authentically you and you belong. All right. I love you all. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.